Hello there and welcome to In My Opinion, Ramble, and today we are talking about Astral Chain. The basic premise is there's these monsters called the Chimera who are taking humans to their dimension and in the process fucking up the whole entire planet. They It's been fucked up so bad that there's like only a little spot that the humans reside in, and the government or what powers may be have made a task force to defend themselves against these monsters. Basically, cops. It says police on your outfit and all that stuff. They are fighting against these creatures with what is called legions, which are basically chained up chimeras under your power. During one of the many attacks that happen in this world, your dad who adopted you and your sister gets or just disappears, or who the fuck knows. And also, everyone's individual legion goes haywire and breaks out with you only keeping yours intact. So now, and also there's this other crazy scientist lady bringing pandemonium to everywhere and these new monsters and so on and so forth that you must stop, called Jenna. And that's basically your job. It's to stop her and defend the human race with these legions, and also to recover the legions that were lost. You actually play as either the brother or sister of a twin set. Like I said, was adopted by the Pop. The big difference is who you want to hear talk, because you are completely fucking mute. You don't say anything, which is kind of weird. I kind of wish you actually had lines and stuff to make your character a little more active. But it all depends if you want to hear your sister talk or you want to hear your brother talk. That's your choice. And you have a little bit of customization. It's not the most in-depth I've seen, but it's something. The story itself it's okay. It's typical anime tropes, big battles, bright colors, twists. A twist that's so fucking obvious that you probably saw the second you turned on the game. And then, save the world. Everything's neatly wrapped up for the most part. Of course, is a tiny little thing that's open that if they want to do a sequel, they can if they want to. The gameplay is your typical, blah, that's kind of fucking to say. Yeah, the gameplay is hack and slash, where you control how many legions? Let's see, you have Axe Legion, Sword Legion, Arrow Legion, Beast Legion, and Arm Legion. Yeah, I think it's 4. No way, in fact, you have 5 Legion, not 4 Legion. It's Axe Legion, Sword Legion, Beast Legion, Arm Legion, and Arrow Legion. 5. Okay, 5. You have 5 of them, each with their own little special skills and use. Like the Axe has a special skill to activate a shield to protect yourself from the environment and from attacks, and also packs out of a punch. The Arm it punches things. It could grab things in the environment to throw it. It gets on the enemies. It could open doors. Like also to help you float over things. The Beast could sniff out clues and track things, and you could ride it against gust of wind so you won't be blown away. The Sword is the sword thing. Oh, it could also track stuff. And one of the special skills is to activate a slow-mo slice, which is also helpful in some of the combats. Because some of the combat is by legions who have armor, and there's like this line you see that you can cut in half. It's also used in other little environmental stuff. And the arrow is, well, the long-range type. And its special ability is it can, you can shoot far, you can aim perfectly, do a charge-up attack, and so on and so forth. I felt all these legions are really helpful in certain situations. Of course, have your favorites. Myself like the Axe, Sword, and Beast Legion. Those are my favorite. The combat is fast. It's fluid as hell. It's a little bit limited when you first start, but once you start to level up your legions and get more moves, it becomes way more fun, because it's a little dull in the beginning, let's be honest. But it becomes fun pretty fast. By like file 2 or 3, you're already like getting the hang of it. Everything's clicking. You're learning the moves. You're unlocking a bunch of moves. It's all pretty damn fun. What else? The other thing is there's your home base before you go to any of the main missions. There's your home base. You can interact with your fellow officers. There's one that she's also the mascot, but she thinks no one knows, of course, but they do. There's a ton of sub and side activities you can do while playing the game. As you're a cop, you could after when you go off to each file, it's usually like a little city area. You could solve crimes. You could stop a graffiti artist, bring a kickball back to kids, and other stuff. Oh, you can play like a guessing game with a bunch of little kids too. And each of it is thankfully all managed. You can always check the menu. You have this eye thing that you can activate that shows your surroundings and if anything's interactable. It's also helpful because when you do that to enemies, it shows the health bars, especially the boss bars, because they're not there until you activate it. But yeah, it's like a crap ton of things to do that makes the game feel more alive instead of just straightforward, let's beat shit up. This one actually like builds up a little bit more. It lets you do more stuff and explore instead of Platinum's usual just fuck shit up. I will admit I'm not the biggest fan of Platinum games. I don't like all of them, like Vanquish. I like some of their games, like say Mad World. And now this one. This one's pretty fucking awesome. I had a hell of a time playing the game. That's basically the main chunk of it. Just going to the files, seeing all the side activities. You don't have to, but I do recommend it since it gives you a lot of money and a lot of money and items you need to upgrade your weapons, which is you have a multi-purpose baton weapon thing that can turn into a short baton that does fast attacks, a big ass sword, of course, and a gun. Each act differently from one another. Of course, the sword does way more damage. It's slow as hell. The gun is good for far away enemies. And each also have a different ender, because each time you attack, there's usually like a bling you see, and that activates a little special move you do with your Legion. And speaking of the Legion, you don't control the Legion really. They auto fight. The most you do for the Legion is the skills, or you send them go. I mean, you sent them go. Wow, that sounded terrible. You sent them to fight, or you could pull back on them because they do have health. If they're completely depleted during a fight, if they gets killed, well, it's more like get fainted or whatever, you have to wait for the whole circle to fill up again. If you bring it before that happens, the circle, you don't have to wait for the whole circle to fill up again to bring them back. You can bring them back whenever the hell you want. So that's like a little strategy to it. With Legions, you can also like wrap enemies around with Legions like a chain, which will trigger the Ching again, which will then trigger like a crazy cool looking combo. It doesn't feel, or it may sound overwhelming, but it doesn't. It's very simple and straightforward. And the game also has difficulty options, which is like super easy mode, easy, and you unlock the normal mode, which is PT standard. That's why I feel like it's a normal, because it doesn't really feel that hard at all. Like this, if you're used to these type of games, play that mode. You may have less, because each time if you die, you have like these little hearts, and you just come back right to life. You start with just 2 with a PT standard, but as you level up after each mission, you get experience points and everything for your rank. You level up, which increases your hearts. By the end, I think I had like 5 or 6. So, and I rarely died in this game. I think I died more near the end. Especially the final boss, but that's because the final boss has a cheap ass move, but I won't get into that much. But yeah, that I rarely died, just played PT standard. Also, it's good to do that because you get ranked, and when you get ranked, you get more rewards for your play. It may feel like you're not doing well when you're first starting because you get like a C or D, but again, once you get your moves and you start leveling up, you'll start seeing A's and so on and so forth. And when you're playing through the game, you start getting S pluses too. Because hell, there's been times I got my ass completely whooped, and I still be getting S pluses. So they're very lenient with this stuff. The game's about, I think it's 11 files long. So once you reach 11 files, the final one, there's an extra file you get after you beat it, which it's not like a story mission or anything. It just lets you It tells you the epilogue of what happened, and it lets you go back to any of the files again. You can try out any, if you missed out anything, any items, or you want to get better ranking. I mean, there's like an ongoing submission that you got to bring toilet paper to the toilet fairy. Yes, the toilet fairy, and each file has a piece of toilet paper in its own special way. So there's that. So you don't have to worry about missing anything. You always go back to any of the missions, replay them. You even unlock even harder difficulties if you want to, I guess, test yourself. I didn't touch any of that. I just did with standard and there's even extra missions you unlock that you could just play. These are usually just gauntlet fights with some enemies. There's nothing, again, story related. So if you don't care about non-story stuff, then you don't really have to do it. Another thing I want to mention is there's like semi-platforming in the game. So you can like send your legion to a platform and it pull you to it. Use their skills a lot to get by these sections as well. So the game helps you get used to these skills. These are actually really good. I actually like the platforming sections if they're like by themselves. Sometimes they try to stick like boss fights in them. I don't like it. It completely takes me out of it. I didn't really enjoy it. They don't do it that much, so it's not like too annoying. But when it does do it, I'm not really having fun with it. It's best just to keep it to the isolated platform sections. That's when it really works. Speaking of the boss fights, all of them are really fun. There are some that kind of suck, I think. Like when you fight the Arms Legion, you fight them like with some goo around, and you're constantly getting stuck, and it's a pain in the ass, and it just turns to not challenging. It just turns to annoying, and I hate that so much. But again, these are rare. Most of the boss fights are really fun and really hectic. The game looks gorgeous, like just wow. Like I think it looks fantastic. Again, it's very anime, it's bright, it's colorful, a lot of particle effects, but you never, ever, ever see slowdown. It's a game that slowdown would mess it up, and you never see it. Everything runs perfectly fine. Even in the portal, I took it to like outside to a friend's house and everything, and tried it there. And even portable, it still looks great and runs great as well. So no matter how you plan to play it on your Switch, you're gonna have a good time. The game does have dual audio. If you're into the dub or the sub, you got something to hear. From what I understand, to hear it in Japanese, you gotta at least play through the first file, and which is not a big problem because it's actually really quick, and then you just change it in the menu. I played the whole game dubbed, and I found the voice acting just fine. There's nothing terrible about it or anything like that, so I guess you're covered either way. One more thing I forgot to mention is when it comes to your customization, you could actually, one of the other things you unlock like for rewards and everything. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is orders. Orders are like little goals or achievements, you can say, or trophies or whatever you want to call them, that you could reach to unlock rewards, like more material to help you level up your legions or your weapons and so on and so forth. You can always check the order menu, always will tell you what to do. You could take pictures, which is some of the orders, which is you can take pictures whenever you feel like it. The pictures also unlock the information for whatever you take a picture of, like any of the chimeras or locations or characters. Once the game thankfully tells you very clear when you see a yellow dot or something, you have yet to get the information on it. Take it. It tells you got it. You don't have to save the picture or nothing. So yeah, there's a lot there right there. And oh yeah, the customization, besides, because I mentioned the order stuff, the customization, there is customization in the game. You could unlock colors by doing certain tasks, which is like getting higher rank, or maybe finding certain items, or even doing certain orders. You get certain color sets for your legion or yourself. And also you also unlock costume pieces too, like hats and glasses and stuff. I didn't unlock a bunch of them, but what I had, it was fine enough. You also get the ability to customize your color, like yourself. You don't have to get a set. I got it by, I think, file 2 or 3. I got the option. I was able to change the color of my outfit, as you can see, with my yellow and blue, and I changed my legions to match. So I found that pretty damn cool. Add some personality to everything. You see it through all the cutscenes. There's nothing that it disappears and it goes to default. It stays there forever. So yeah, if you're interested in these types of games, this is definitely worth your time. Even if you're not a fan of platinum games, like I said, I don't love older games. This one I ended up having a fantastic time with. The gameplay is super fun. The story is entertaining, anime-ness. The characters weren't annoying or anything, thanks also to the voice acting. No one came, like I said, no one came out of annoying. It took me about 26 hours to complete my playthrough. Again, I was taking my time. I was doing a lot of the side content and submissions within the files, and I'm even missed some. So there's a lot of stuff I still haven't done yet, and I still got a crap ton of playtime out of it. So if you want something that's meaty, this is worth your time. And like I said, the game runs really well on the portable function. So if you want to take it on the go to do some cleanup, you can. So I hope you didn't mind my ramble. And for gamer's sake, keep gaming.